BD here, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to talk about that surprise Thunderbolts trailer drop, why it was so amazing, what the asterisk actually means, and the big location we finally got to return to. I'm not doing it alone though. Come here.
Hello everybody!
We got Jamie Jurek to talk about Thunderbolts, so if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, stay to the end to get all our thoughts on this, and let's get started. First of all, I thought the trailer was fantastic.
It was awesome. Like, truly, like, it was, like, rejuvenating.
Yes!
I felt amazing watching it.
Yelena Belova!
God, I love her so much!
The MCU is hot again!
Oh, between Aubrey Plaza and Agatha All Along and Florence Pugh in this trailer, I just think the Sapphics stay winning. The slicked back hair, the chain, I know what you're doing to me, Marvel!
And I feel so seen twice over in this trailer because David Harbour's sitting on the couch. That's me right now. So full, so filled, many irons in fire. Like, these are my irons. This is my fire. Here we are. Everything's so good. But then Yelena being like, I buried myself in work. I thought I'd find myself, and she didn't. And I don't know, that's kind of the life I lived for 10 years. I'm like, all right, well, I'm figuring it out. I felt seen.
But the employment brought us here.
Here we are.
To this moment, so.
You know, you become friends with the people you work with, just like the Thunderbolts. But I want to point out, all that said, it makes me think Thunderbolts is leaning into the relatability of what's going on in the world today. People are trying to figure out their lives. They're figuring, like, I feel like we're coming out of that COVID era of our lives. We're coming out of, like, lockdown and all the things changing. And it feels like they're really telling the audience, hey, these characters see you. You know, if you're a little bit broken, if you're a little bit trying to figure it out, which is most of us. That's why I love Lost, for example. Like, we all have our things that we're going through. This felt relatable in a sense, even though we're not superheroes.
I think one line that really stuck out with me was the, like, everyone thinks there's good and bad. And I think that's a big problem that we have today. You know, like on Twitter, everything's black and white. There's no nuance. There's no middle ground. And getting a team like this, who they are literally the middle ground. They are the gray area. And it's nice to see. It's the same thing. Like Agatha, we know Agatha's a villain, but like it's Loki. I really prefer characters who have a lot of these different sides to them. And it's not just Cap being a good boy. We love you, Cap. But, you know, I prefer a little darkness.
We talk about parallels to our real world. There's also a lot of parallels to the MCU too on top of all that. Like, of course, you know, Marvel fans, hi, checking in. There is obviously the Iron Man 2 hallway fight with Natasha is being recreated with Yelena. Love that. The ending is very Iron Man 1. You know, the Humvees in the desert. Maybe it's just Humvees in the desert, but I'm not going to not think of the opening scene of the whole MCU when I see that. But that also then packs in a Winter Soldier reference, because Bucky's got that same thing that's blasting something that's flipping a car over. All of that is just like, okay, they know why we're here.
And I feel like they are doing that on purpose. Like the whole idea of assemble, I mean, it all started with Iron Man in the desert.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, I don't think they know how smart we all are and how much we're looking for things.
They're like, let's put some words in there that BD and Jamie are going to go make a YouTube video about. And assemble is a word we're going to talk about in just a moment. First, there was the building explosion with Yelena. Do you think that's present, or is that like a flashback?
That's interesting. I would have maybe thought flashback, but then we see her kind of fighting in a lab in the trailer, and that makes me think it might be present. But I do like that she's carrying a little guinea pig, which makes me think that she rescued it from whatever lab she blew up.
They are the guinea pigs, right? They're kind of going to rescue each other.
There's your video.
There we go. That was completely improvised. Versus U.S. Agent, versus Taskmaster, versus Ghost, come together versus Bob? Sentry.
I have a feeling he's not going to let himself known in that scene. Or maybe he does. Like, when all the windows come down.
Yeah.
Do you think that's him, or do you think that's something else?
No, I think they were tasked to... They were all tricked into being there to try to stop him or take him down, I think. And then maybe through fighting, which will lead to conversation, they'll be like, oh, you're not a bad guy. And they'll try to leave. And then those moments where we saw those people shooting at him... Because there's a bunch of bullets in the hospital gown, bullet holes in the hospital gown. Maybe that's from the fight. Maybe that's from all those soldiers who clearly unleashed their weapons on him. I think that's when we're like, oh, this is where we see his powers. He's going to wash those people who are probably hired by Val or something evil. Maybe Ross.
Yeah.
Hired those
I mean, okay, I'm still I really thought that it was known that Harrison Ford was in this movie. Like, when I interviewed David Harbour last year, and I was like, tell us about work with Harrison Ford. And he's like, what? And I was like, but he's in it, right? It's called Thunderbolts. And David Harbour was like, I don't think so. But I'm like, you can't lie to me. I know what it's like to be lied to now. I really think that Harrison Ford's in this movie.
You have to have Thunderbolt Ross in Thunderbolts.
That's the name of the movie.
And I mean, he's definitely Sentry because we see the belt buckle. Like
Yes.
that was one of those my Leo moment. And I pulled up the comic image. I was like, yes, that is. And if you turn it sideways, you could see it's thin. It's got like the S shape, even though it's not traditionally the comic design. It's the MCU. They're not going to.
Yeah. We did have to move the computer sideways
Yeah,
to find the S in the
we're
buckle.
like, yeah, that is an S.
But what else could it be?
Loki's scepter was at Val's party. It was in the stairs.
Wow,
It
this
was
is
like
why I
a
need to watch
glass
these
case.
things 10 times.
Yeah.
Because I watch it twice. And
The scepter's in a glass case at that party, which looks like the same place that Loki took the eye in Avengers. First glance, I didn't do the breakdown, but my first impression was that looks like the same place Loki went, which I thought was in Germany, where he took the eye.
yeah, it was. It was.
And then Iron Man and Captain America come in there and stop him.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the same place, but they're definitely in Avengers Tower moments later, so that might just be somewhere in New York City. Because that is Avengers Tower that Val is rallying the
We know that
Thunderbolts.
skyline.
I have analyzed that damn skyline, that view.
You thinking about Avengers Tower? Whoever would have thought?
Do we know who bought Avengers Tower now? I think we do.
It might have been Val.
It was Val, which is a fine answer.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting. It's not the least exciting.
I refuse to believe that they knew Val bought Avengers Tower in 2017.
No, there's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way.
I asked Kevin Feige, did you know who bought it? Are we going to find out soon? And is the answer the same? And he said yes, yes, and yes. Kev, did you know that you were going to bring Val into the MCU during Spider-Man Homecoming?
They didn't even know to get the year right in that movie.
That's
Come on.
facts. Avengers Tower, probably the new home of the Thunderbolts, which is cool and all. But let's talk about the title. This is the one thing everybody's going to be guessing about. The asterisk. Feige did tell me. We're going to find out soon. Obviously, when he said what's soon, I said a year. I didn't realize Thunderbolts comes out in less than a year from when I asked that question, so obviously we're going to find out. But this is Dark Avengers, right?
It feels like it, but also the asterisk, the whole thing, it's fun. I like it, but they need to, if it's actually what the movie's called, they gotta tell us. Because that's
Right.
gonna get people, that is gonna get people interested.
Do you think you have one of your characters say, what are we, some kind of Dark Avengers? I love the trailer.
I had a great time watching it. It's just, it's been sad having less Marvel content, but it also gets me more excited. So that, it's a two sides of a coin kind of a thing, because I am like, I need it! Give it to me!
I need the movie to match the tone of this trailer. I'll always go back to Age of Ultron. It was such a dark trailer and not a dark movie. I don't need a very dark movie, but this had a Winter Soldier gritty, very cool vibe to it in this trailer. I need the movie to have this tone, this feeling, this grit, this excitement. And the humor, too. Like, it's not all dark.
No.
The first few moments were funny. David Harbour's funny, man. Keep doing that. But I hope the whole movie has that.
It's Marvel. Like even Winter Soldier has its funny moments.
Exactly. So, we'll see. Thunderbolts is not close enough. Or should we say Dark Avengers?
We'll find out.
Anyway.
Clip it for later.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm yelling to. It's you. You're the one who does it.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging with Jamie and I on the channel. Please subscribe because we'll be doing more videos like this one anytime we're together in LA and a Marvel trailer drops by surprise. So we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Later.